So it's a beautiful morning today here in Neath, South Wales. It's a little bit cloudy, but the temperatures are around about 8 degrees. And it's just the perfect morning just to get a few little jobs done in the garden. And I also want to go out and do a little bit of plant shopping. So I've spent a bit of time this morning just going in between the plants with my hoe. And if you haven't got one of these, I recommend you definitely get one, as it makes a bit of weeding so much easier. Saves the back. So just go back and forth with the hoe, and then any of the weeds, the smaller weeds, will just wither away. Of course, any big weeds you have got to get in and sort out and sort of dig them out. But if I keep on top of it regular, hopefully I won't get any big weeds. And that's the first job done for this morning. And it only takes me 10 minutes. And it looks an awful lot better. So I've just come back now from Zoar's garden centre in Neath, and I was looking for some plants to add a little bit of colour to the front of my borders. And I've came away with these two. And one is a Heuchera Cherryberry, and the other one is a Heucherella Buttered Rum. So I don't really know the difference between the two, a Heuchera or a Heucherella, but I can see that they've got different sized leaves there. They're both similar colour. Now I normally go for the darker purple, but they didn't have any in stock. And I think I've caught them really sort of in between seasons. But nevertheless, beautiful autumnal coloured plants here, and these will be lovely to brighten up some spots in the garden. Now the Heucherella Buttered Rum says that it has beautiful caramel coloured maple shaped leaves that turn rose red as the temperatures cool later in the year. White flowers appear on this neat and compact plant from late spring. And this says full sun or partial shade, and it grows 20 centimetres tall by 40 centimetres high. So moving on to the cherry berry. And the Heuchera Cherryberry, a compact clump forming evergreen perennial with lobed rounded leaves, opening bright orange and maturing to an autumnal red. Spikes of small flowers from late spring to early autumn. And this is 35 centimetres tall by 30 centimetres across. Now where I'm planning to put these is just along the edge here underneath the John Phillips. I've got some Heucheras there already, and these ones aren't my favourite colour, so I just want something a little bit brighter along the front, but these ones here won't be wasted, as I'm going to move them to a different part in the garden. And this is the sort of colour that I usually go for, which is something a lot deeper. But I've got a few of these in the garden already. So it'll be nice to have something a little bit different. So I went to Zoar's with my parents, and they do enjoy a little bit of a visit out, and my dad has bought a new sign for our garden, and that is going to go right there on the trellis. So I'm waiting for Tony to come home now to give me a hand. Right, come on then. Do you think it should go?
Yeah.
For there? Right,
Yeah, but
so...
how will I use that thing?
Yeah, so we need just put one in the middle there. And then I'll hang it up then.
Yeah?
Yeah, right in the middle. I think it'll look quite nice there. There we are, that should be okay. Yes?
Put it on there then.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, nice there. Yeah. That's lovely.
Job done.
Oh, look at that. Very nice. Yeah, I like that.
Very good.
Lovely. Very true. So I've just watered now the new Heucheras and the Heucherella, and they are now in place at the front of the border. And I've been struggling with this part of the garden next to the pathway for some weeks now. So I've just moved in some of them Heucheras there. So there's all different types of colours now along the front. And now after a good watering in, it's finally nice to see a little bit of colour just along the edge of the pathway. And I think that just finishes this part of the garden off now underneath the bamboo. So I've also been asked recently, what type of lighting do I have in the garden? And I've also got some lighting that goes over the poster, which is now fading. It's 5 years old now, the poster. And just over the other side of the garden, I've also got some festoon lighting, which hangs over the wildlife pond. And I took some footage the other night of how the garden looks in the evening when the lights are illuminated. And it is a lovely sight, and I love sitting out here in the summer. And I have got some electric festoon lights, and these are wired in the shed so that I can switch them on and off. So if you remember, this pergola, the metal pergola, used to have the fabric roof, and that's been replaced now with some bamboo screening. Reason being that the other roof came off in the storm. So I've cable tied one lot of festoon lights up there, and there's another set over there. We usually have solar lighting on the tiki bar. I had some lovely lantern ones, but unfortunately they stopped working. And these are wired up into the garage, and they just sit around just in front of the garage. Don't really put them on that often, so it's nice really to put them on this evening just to make sure that they're still working. And it does just light up the area quite nice here. It's a lovely evening tonight. It's about 15 degrees. So it is quite dark out here at the moment, so it's quite difficult to see, but you can get the idea of how the garden is lit up. Things are starting now to really die back in the garden, but these will all come back next year. And even the Heucheras now are starting to lose their leaves. You can see that the leaves are almost off now on the Heuchera Cherryberry, but it has got some beautiful colour stems on this, which are a lovely red, yellow and orange colour, and these stems stay like this now throughout the winter, so even the stems add a little bit of colour into the garden. But then on the other hand, we've also got some of the other plants that are just starting to burst with some autumn flowers, and this one in particular looks beautiful. This is the Mahonia soft caress, and the Fatsia japonicas are now starting to flower. We've still got some roses in the garden, and also the salvia purple and bloom is still going strong. So there's still plenty of interest in the autumn garden, and hopefully the colour will last now for a good few weeks yet. And the salvia amistad in the garden have grown up through the banana and are still also growing really strong for this time of year. The dahlias are still going strong, but I think these are now down to their last few weeks. But let's see how long we can get out of these. So I hope you've enjoyed a little look around the garden mid-October. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.